has become a lot more than a drink here at home. A lot of events centered around craft beer have stimulated serious interest among ordinary folks, some of whom would have never imagined themselves even enjoying the idea of a beer. Now, one of the many popular events in Gauteng is the Green Craft Beer Festival, which sees a host of beer companies gather to showcase their products in the presence of good music, a great crowd, and a fitting backdrop. Their next gathering was set to take place next Saturday at Giloolys farm, but due to the horrible rainy weather, the organisers have had to postpone the event. Here to tell us more about not only the new date, but the craft beer scene, and who's co-founder of the Green Craft Beer Festival is Dax Menday. Dax, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so the event very quickly has been postponed. You moved it to another date?
Yes, we'll move it to a date in the next 3 or 4 months. We haven't set a date as yet. Obviously, we've got to talk to the venue and decide, but it will be coming up in the near future, so you'll be able to catch the details on social and all that sort of thing.
But the craft beer industry, Dax, has exploded. I mean, I don't know if anybody who's been part of the industry could have predicted that there would be so many brewers and that people would gravitate to it in the way they have.
No, it's massive at the moment. I think it's so fun and entrepreneurial. The industry is really young, and everybody's trying to push it as hard as possible. So it's a really fun industry to be at the moment. And I think to get that together with that tailor-made sort of offering for every beer is different, and each individual can have their favorite beer. I think that appeals to a lot of people.
From your interest perspective, when did you start kind of switching on to craft beer and wanting to create this experience? Because I've now been to a couple of craft beer festivals, and it's really a total experience.
Yeah.
Something great to drink, but also there seems to be this family camaraderie, this great spirit.
Yeah, I think it's moving away. The beer fest is moving away from just having white tents and trestle tables where everybody sits down and just drinks as much as they can. It's now it's a learning curve. I think you go there, you learn a lot about the different beers and how they're made, and get to meet these brewers, and it is family orientated. So there's music. There's food. Food is a massive part of these things now. So it becomes a good day out instead of just a drinking festival, I suppose.
And the growth for the Green Craft Beer Festival from when you started to where you're finding yourselves now?
Yeah, sure. I think it's been quite big. The take up is massive. There's a couple of really good craft beer festivals around the country at the moment. Clarence Beer Festival and Capital Craft being the two biggest. But things like ours, where we focused on the East Rand more specifically, the take up is massive. So we've seen a lot of interest, which is fun.
And the numbers through the door?
Yeah, so on our first one, we had 1,300 people through the door. So we were looking at about 1,500 people. We like to keep it nice and neat and tidy, I suppose, in terms of how many people we come through. So each brewer is able to interact with those people. I think that's the main thing. If you have 5,000 people at your beer fest and you don't have enough breweries there, it becomes a bit irritating then, because you're not actually doing that learning, I suppose, at the festival.
The other thing that I also enjoy about these kind of festivals is that every craft beer comes with a personality.
Yeah. No
stand or venue looks like the other.
Yeah.
Even the guys that are serving the craft beer are starting to mirroring kind of, if it's a fun, light kind of beer, you're finding that the guys are fun, light behind the counter.
Yeah, I think you get the brewer's personality through the beers now, because we're not tied by any corporate guidelines or anything like that. So you get Mad Giant Brewery, you get Darling Breweries, you get Stimula, Soweto Gold. So and each of those breweries are really defined by their brewers, I suppose. So and that's what makes it fun, because the brewers are so passionate about it. It really comes through.
You talked about the entrepreneurial spirit a little bit earlier, that these are entrepreneurs. We're forgetting that the craft beer industry, I don't know in comparison to the rest of the world, it has grown over the last 5 years, but there's some guys that are making serious money at the moment, because a lot of those craft beers have found themselves into a commercial space.
Yeah, sure. I think there's quite a bit of investment around at the moment for craft beers. Some of the guys that started small, like Devil's Peak and like Darling Breweries, have grown a lot, and you can find them and you get them from Macro very easily, that sort of thing. So they are becoming a lot more available available. Obviously, it keeps with the really small microbreweries as well, where it's still where those guys are still really pushing the boundaries and making mango ales and coconut ales and that sort of thing.
I had a whiskey ale at Soweto Gold.
There we go. Yeah. Well, I think that's what's lovely. Everybody's trying new things. So there's always something crazy on tap where you look at it and you think, oh, how is this going to taste? The mango ale. You taste it and you're like, okay, that actually works, which is cool.
For somebody who's never been to the Green Craft Beer Festival, you've got something called beer pong as well that you play some games.
Yeah. So taking that little bit of fun, we like to have something special at each event. So it's the world record attempt at beer pong. It's unofficial. You can't do an official one, unfortunately. But what we are aiming for is 6,000 cups of beer pong, which is beer pong is a strategic and really it's only a game for the really talented. but
I love how you use the word strategic.
It is in the end, No, but we try to keep things lighthearted and fun, but with a little bit of seriousness, get everybody involved, try to break something really cool.
Where can people go? At greenlive.co.za to find out more and for the new dates as well.
Yeah, greenlive.co.za, all the information will be there. Greencraftbar.co.za, that all ties into it. If guys are more interested in wanting to come out and try, there's, I suppose, on the craft bar side, there's three major guys. We feel we're one of them, Green Craft Bar. There's Capital Craft, and then there's Beer House, I suppose, for everybody that wants to go and get involved in the whole craft beer industry.
Well, fantastic. Dax Menday, thank you very much. One of the founders of the Green Craft Beer Festival. The next gathering, which was supposed to take place next Saturday on the 4th of June, has been postponed to another weekend, and that will be announced. You can go to the website. It's www.greenlive.co.za. Let's go to Lebo.